my name is Emily Dover, and today I'm going to be talking to you about creative learning and how to incorporate that in your classrooms. I know you all are preschool teachers and you already have a good idea of how to do this. You incorporate creative learning every day, or at least try to. But I have some tips on how to kind of revamp it in your classrooms, because I know we all hit that lull and you're like, oh, do I really want to do a craft today? Or, I'm just not feeling it. But this is the time where you can let kids just be imaginary and do whatever they want to do. So first I'm going to start out with a quote by Benjamin Franklin. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. This is ways that you can revamp the creativity in your classrooms. Now, how many times have you heard, I'm not creative, I have to be creative to be a teacher, or, just so many things about creativity? Well, this kind of is true. So NASA scientists did a study on children ages 4 to 5, and there were 1,600 of them. And they tested them once when they were between 4 and 5, and on imagination, and they scored 98%, genius category. Then, over time, they retested them again, and as adults, they scored 2% genius and imagination. So this does go to show that throughout school years, you lose your imagination, because what are we focused on? Tests, standardized tests, which is not fun. All right, so first you can do classroom layout. Now, there is a really fun program on Kaplan, and you can put in the dimensions of your classroom, and they have like examples of furniture that you have in your classroom, and you can figure out how to set it up in a way that is perfect for every learning environment. Also, you can incorporate colors in your classroom. I saw this really cool thing on Pinterest where you have mood or emotion corners. So you have a different corner in every part of the room, and it's a different color. So one corner could be red, that would be anger. One corner would be blue, that would be sad. One corner could be yellow, and that would be happy. What does that also teach them? Their primary colors. So once the kids go to each corner, this will also help them interact with their peers, and they can say, oh, I'm feeling really angry. You could say, why? This also eliminates, some of the criers who come up to the teachers and they're like, oh, so-and-so took my toy. That really kind of prevents that because they can work it out themselves, which they'll have to do in the higher grades. Also, you can make posters that they can understand. They're learning word and letter recognition in preschool. So you can make posters that start with the letter of their name, and they'll be able to go up to them and say, oh, G for Georgia. And it could be like, go, 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 inspirational, motivational, there you go. Also, rewards and recognition is another really important part of creative learning. You could do this by student of the week. You could do this by somebody at snack gets something special, like a crown. They could also design their own birthday crown and get to wear that. They would be really proud of that. This also goes to show that it would help their social and emotional skills. So they would be really proud of that crown that they decorated, or they're really proud of their birthday because it's their birthday, right? Or they're really proud that they're student of the week. So this helps their social and emotional. Other areas of development that are involved in creative thinking include physical development, along with social, emotional, as we just talked about, and then also their language and literacy development. So with physical development, this involves motor skills, pre-writing skills. So an example of this would be getting Play-Doh, which we all have in our closets, and saying, all right, now everybody make the letter A for Anna, okay? Or everybody make the letter B for Bryce. And you could do that with different kids' names. That teaches them letter word recognition along with developing their pre-writing skills. Another thing would be finger painting. I know that's kind of gone out of the school systems unless you take their finger and, do paint. But just free-range finger painting, let them create something and tell you what it is. That would develop their language and literacy skills. Also, when you're talking to them while doing their craft and you're making a rocket ship and you're saying, where does the rocket ship go? Does it go underground? Nope, that's a submarine. A rocket ship goes in the sky. So that also improves their vocabulary, it'll get them talking and really stimulate their thinking. Back to the social and emotional development, this would just be taking pride in their work. This would be, okay, you go show your friend what you made and tell them about your picture. And that really, corresponds with their creativity and creative learning. Another thing is unconventional learning. So when I was in preschool, they had a program called Computer Pals, and this was just in the spark of technology. When computers weren't in the classrooms, we didn't even know what an iPad was, and they would take you out 5 at a time, and you would do little programs on the computer. And I mean, it would stimulate your development and your learning, but it would also teach you how to use a computer. I remember in 2nd grade, we had to make a PowerPoint on our favorite mammal. That's 2nd grade, and I'm sure it's a lot younger now. So there are many ways with unconventional learning. I know with speech therapy that there are many different apps that they use on the iPad that will help with the child's development in speech. And there are many different computer programs that you can use as well that will really help children develop and stimulate their thinking as well. All right, you could also explore different cultures. I know some teachers already do that. We have the Chinese New Year that's been celebrated, and they take the kids to the Chinese restaurant and they can have a Chinese buffet. There's also different ways that you can incorporate culture in the classroom. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows how to count to 10 in Spanish. That's something easy, and the kids will love it. They'll be able to run up to you and say, oh, I can count to 10 in Spanish. Also, saying hello and goodbye in different languages is something to incorporate, and it will expand their knowledge into different cultures. So then, when they get into the school system, once again, they'll know about different cultures because we live in a rural area, and so it's not really brought up that much. All right, that concludes my presentation. Thank you all for coming.